Welcome back to my channel. So a couple days ago, we saw Chief Richard Currie welcoming Prime Minister Andrew Holness into Accompong town in St Elizabeth. And I think the Prime Minister was asking what did they need in the community to be done. Richard telling him that they need some roofs to be repaired, a slab and some were zinc, and they lost some of the zinc roofs, and they needed electricity as well. As you know, January 6th is the big maroon celebration. It's only about a month away, and I guess they wanted to make sure that they were ready to welcome thousands of guests, and that brings in millions of dollars for the economy as well. It's not just the Accompong Maroons that would benefit from it, the government itself, because you have hotels and Airbnbs being booked out, you have restaurants, being fully occupied, people coming up and selling their goods, food, and so on. So it does a lot for the economy. It actually brings in millions of dollars, right? So they've never canceled, and they've been doing this over 200 years. I don't believe they will. So Richard is now saying that they will be getting some local and overseas help as well. They'll be using local manpower and international support. The chief, he said the presence of the JDF could create some tension among the residents, and he wants to avoid any situation that could disrupt peace or the autonomy in Accompong town. So the latest development has added a new layer to the evolving relationship between, of course, the Maroon leadership and the Jamaican government. Because since it was elected, the Prime Minister has never been to Accompong town. And, there was a very positive feedback was in many of the comment section yesterday. A lot of people loved that the Maroons getting along with the Jamaican government. I'm going to let you listen to what the chief has to say. Please let me know what you think in the comment section. Let's listen to Chief Richard Currie.
Ashe, Ashe, Ashe. Honorable Prime Minister, Dr. Andrew Holness, on behalf of the indigenous people of Accompong and the wider Maroon districts of Cockpit Country, I send sincere appreciation for your recent visit to our community and for the government of Jamaica's expression of support following the destruction caused by Hurricane Melissa. Your presence, accompanied by the several ministers of government, marked the first official visit of your administration to Accompong since my election in 2021. And it was warmly welcomed by our people. We remain grateful for the humanitarian gesture extended to the Accompong people and for your willingness to mobilize resources, particularly those of the JDF military, to assist with the recovery efforts. We also acknowledge your reference on international partners including Ethiopia, Ghana, and Rwanda, who have expressed readiness to assist in the island's rebuilding efforts. Honorable Prime Minister, following a deep, comprehensive internal review and a formal deliberation, the full Maroon Council has this time decided not to accept the offer on the militarization of the space during the recovery effort. The full Maroon Council instead has resolved to continue with the response, utilizing civilian resources from our joining communities and our partners, both locally and internationally, who have offered to the community their assistance in the recovery efforts. Instead, the Council would like to thank you for the offer on materials and would accept the offer on those materials and equipment necessary to assist in those recovery efforts. We want to ensure, Mr. Prime Minister, that harmony and inclusiveness of our Maroon human resources of those here in Accompong and adjoining communities are balanced to execute the infrastructural relief efforts across our maroon communities. This methodology aligns with our laws and cultural way of life. This decision is based also on the following considerations. 1. The established reconstruction partnerships and resources Accompong has secured through international donations, through technical sponsorships, and volunteer engineering assistance sufficient to address the rebuilding and development needs arising from the hurricane. These partnerships, coordinated through the Accompong Development Foundation, reflect years of relationship building, and they provide to us a structured, culturally and aligned framework for reconstruction across the Maroon territory. The second consideration was the protection of community well-being and trauma sensitivities. As you would have recognized, our community was significantly devastated, and many of our elders, some of the women as well as children, have endured profound emotional trauma. In the aftermath, the introduction of military personnel carrying assault rifles, as we would have seen just the other day, even in a humanitarian capacity, could exacerbate and distress and cause additional distress among residents of the community. The Council believes that reconstruction conducted through civilian and community-based teams is the most appropriate path for maintaining emotional security and cultural stability at this time. This, I'm sure, you can understand, Mr. Prime Minister. Our treaty obligations and governance. The third consideration would be the treaty obligations and governance responsibilities Accompong as a treaty recognized indigenous polity under the 1738 treaty bears the responsibility of in ensuring that the recovery operation within the territorial space are consistent with its laws, governance institutions, and cultural protocols. The Council has therefore determined that internal and partner-supported reconstruction efforts remain the most suitable avenue for the recovery from the damages that were sustained. This decision is not a rejection of cooperation, nor does it diminish the appreciation of the humanitarian intent behind your offer. We again thank you. But rather, it reflects Accompong's capacity to manage its internal recovery efforts through established civilian channels and international collaborative efforts that have been ongoing since the impact of this storm. I again reiterate our commitment to engage in dialogue on areas where meaningful cooperation between the government of Jamaica and the Accompong Maroons can be maintained. We thank everyone for their continued support, particularly in matters related to the disaster readiness and recovery from the effects of Hurricane Melissa. The Maroons continue to show their resilience and share their support with the broader communities impacted by the storm. We respectfully emphasize that this disaster relief cannot be interpreted as altering or diminishing Accompong's treaty-recognized autonomy. The historical and legal foundations of the 1738 treaty remain intact and continue to guide our interactions with the Jamaica state government. Honorable Prime Minister, we again express our sincere gratitude for your visit and your expression of solidarity during this difficult time. We remain committed to peaceful engagement, transparent dialogue, and long-term well-being of all communities within the cockpit country. May this period of national recovery represent an opportunity for renewed mutual respect and for collaborative efforts that honor both Jamaica's constitutional framework and Accompong's treaty-based autonomy. Thank you.